All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to load a digital portfolio. When you come into the lab to shoot on digital, this will typically already be on. You'll see a green light here, green light here. This may or may not be, this right now is off. It's simply, you just put your finger over this. It'll bring it up in just a minute. If it's already on, that's great. If not, that's how you turn it on. It is touchscreen, so be careful you're not touching that and doing this. You can do either way. I just prefer keyboard than to touch that. Before you start to shoot, make sure your control panel is on so that it'll detect the detector. When we first go to do this, when you're going to set up your portfolio, you're going to click on this VIX view. You're going to double click on that and it'll start loading this and it'll come up with the login, and I'm going to tell you the password in just a second. You'll see it. All right, so ViewWorks is the password. It usually tells you if Cap Lock is on, but it's not. The login, I'm sorry, is ViewWorks. The password is the same thing, ViewWorks. And then you can either click on login or you can hit enter, either way. It'll bring you up to this screen, which is the registration screen. It'll tell you Kaiser University Daytona, and it'll give you a date and time. So the patient ID is going to be the last four of your social. I'm just going to make something up so that we can just pretend, because if it's already got your information, it'll preload everything. Okay, so I'm going to just give it a fake last four. And it kept it from when we were trying to play around before. So if you're already in here, it'll do that. If you're not in here, let me try and come up with one while we're not in here. Patient ID will make it 1111. Make the patient's last name Smith. You can put this in all caps, so hit caps lock. Tab down to each one. Female is fine. Birth date, you have to put it in that format, month / day / full year. Procedure, you're basically going to pick whatever you're shooting. They're all in here in alphabetical order. Now, not everything, but you want to be as close as you can get. So if I was doing a hand or a finger, I'm going to come down to finger. This is second finger, AP and lateral. I would likely do an oblique. It's right. I'm just going to pick that for convenience. It'll tell me my description. The physician will give most of the instructors here. You're going to choose me if you're doing the portfolio for me. You would choose Miss Ray if you were doing it for her. And then leave it as a routine procedure. And then you're going to click Start Study. And it'll come up with your name, your ID, and what you're shooting. Now, right now it's telling me that we can shoot an AP and a lateral finger. If you wanted to add something, you can. You can see up here, you can click on the arrows. Upper extremity, you click on what it is. If I wanted to add an oblique, I click on it and it'll bring over here. So now I could do an AP finger, an oblique finger, and a lateral finger. You just want to make sure, like if I'm going to shoot the AP first, I want to be on that. So if it ended up here, but I was going to shoot the AP, I want to make sure that I click on that. I set up everything in the room. I set the control panel, and then I would make the exposure. And when I make the exposure, the image will come up right here so that we can see it. Okay, so once you get done shooting your portfolio and you've saved everything, what you're going to do, I'm not going to shoot just to save time. I'm actually going to exit out of this. So once you have your images, you would exit out of this, which is over here. Click on exit. It's going to tell me when I click on exit, it's going to say that there's remain steps because I didn't really shoot. So for now, this is fine. I'm going to click yes. It'll close out of that. I'll take it off cap lock since it's telling me. And when you go to save, sometimes it's easier for you guys to save your image on a jump drive or a flash drive to be able to work on it at home and then turn it in. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's say I shot and I want to bring that image home. So I'm going to go under Image Suite, which is right here. I'm going to double click on that. And when it brings it up, it comes up with the login. The ID is station, and the password is access, ACCESS, the number 1, and then I'm gonna log in. All right, now nobody's up there because it's giving a study date of today. I'm actually gonna put in the last 4 of my social. If you do that, the only thing you want to change is the study date. Unless you truly shot today, then it should come up. I did not shoot today, so I'm gonna just pick the last 6 months, last 12 months. Okay, so now it's giving me everything I've shot in the last 12 months. So in order to save this, like I did a hand, I probably did multiple images in there. Like if we look at this one, I just clicked on it. It's gonna give me my images. I must have only shot 1 at this point. Okay, so I can get out of that. When I wanna save it, like let's say I wanna save this one, I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna right click on this number and I'm gonna hit export. For some reason, sometimes it kicks you out even though you check it. So right click, I'm gonna hit export. Let me try that again. Okay, so I'm at export. So I'm gonna take my jump and I'm gonna show you guys down here. Before you do anything, you can leave it like that. If you look down here in the front, there are 2 spots where you can put your jump drive. So you pick one, put it in there, come back up here. It brings it up as a JPEG, which is what we want. It's showing me the image. You click on this media folder, and this takes a little bit of time depending on how many images you have. Because if you have a bunch of them, you're gonna click on save as. That happens to be what's in there. I can make this say whatever I want. Like, let's say I want it to say hand portfolio. And then I'm gonna save it. It's gonna save it as a zipped folder. Now it tells me it's done. I always tell you guys to click on the open folder. It'll pull it up, and then you just wanna make sure that you can double click on it and see it.
Hold on. You're throwing me off. I don't know.
And we can see it. So it saved that image. So that's how you guys can go in. And then what you'll do, I'll show you how to eject it in a second, but what you would do is take that image from your jump drive, and then you can take it to your own computer, and you can actually put that image in a PowerPoint slide, and then you can label it. You can do everything you need to do for portfolio at a destination other than right here on the computer. So once you guys do that, you save it. You can either send it back to us so that we can grade it from that. You could print it out and give it to us that way. But this way you guys can have the capability to label and do things at home so that you're not waiting on this computer every time. So once you make sure that comes up, you can exit out of that. Exit out of that. And then all you want to do, we can leave out of this, so we'll log out of that. And then you just want to come down here, find the little thing for the jump drive, right click on it, and you're going to eject it. If you do it that way, then you don't have to worry about losing anything on there. And then you have that to take home with you. And that's all there is to it.